The M4A4 versus the M4A1. Which is best? Unlike the terrorists, as CTs you have two main rifles to choose from, each with varying strengths and weaknesses. Let's have a look at first shot accuracy. I always assumed that the first bullet went pretty much where you fired, and if it missed you blamed lag or 64-tick servers or whatever, but it does vary a bit between weapons. I fired 20 shots, each a second apart, with the M4A4, the M4A1-S, and the M4A1-S without the suppressor, and these were the results. Wow, look at that. The M4A1-S is better than the other two. I'd say that even without the suppressor, it's still very slightly better than the M4A4. I then conducted the same experiments as I did with my pistol video, spraying the gun in both static and moving stances. For the static shooting I fired 120 shots, and when moving I did 240 due to the inaccurate and messy nature of these rifles. When still, the M4A1-S is evidently the most precise, followed by the M4A4, with the M4A1-S without the suppressor coming last. This mirrors my CT pistol findings. Do not take off the suppressor unless you want to go low. Running was a total mess and should serve as a warning to new players who seem to think that they'll manage to hit people in this game while moving. You won't. All three guns were bad, though the M4A1-S at least manages more shots hitting the wall rather than flying over and landing somewhere else. Crouching is interesting, showing the M4A1-S as being far superior to the other two, which are both about as bad as each other. Someday I'll do these tests going forwards rather than sideways, which should show how far the bullets travel horizontally as well as vertically, but I think this shows enough to make some kind of judgment from. Price-wise, the M4A4 costs $3,100, while the M4A1-S is just $2,900. Both are still more expensive than the terrorists' AK-47, which is just $2,700. I do occasionally find myself buying the M4A1-S simply because I'm in a situation where I wouldn't be able to buy the M4A4 with my starting money, though this tends to be bad practice in competitive matches when you should be ecoing instead.
Echo. Whoa, don't die!
But I still feel smug about having a decent option that's below $3,000. Stupid psychological pricing. I thought that damage would be the same for both weapons, but no, that would be too simple. At close range, the M4A1-S consistently dealt 2 more damage than the M4A4. This gap slowly widens the further away from the opponent you are. This makes the M4A1-S the weapon of choice for shooting people at long range, as it is both more powerful and accurate. It goes without saying that the suppressor makes the M4A1-S quieter than if it doesn't have one. There are also no giveaway tracers to alert the enemy of your position. Movement speed is the same regardless of the weapon used. I tried penetration, and although the results were quite predictable and boring, it has to be noted that with the M4A4 it took 3 hits to kill enemies with headshots at some exact ranges through this exact material, while with the M4A1-S it only took 2. But I doubt that you'll be spamming walls, what with its limited ammo capacity. Here's the graph compared with the non-penetration damage. Oh look, I forgot to make the titles bold. That's going to haunt me forever. Stupid penetration. And now for the one thing the M4A4 has over the competition. Ammo capacity. The M4A1-S only has 20 shots with 40 in its spare clips, magazines, while the M4A4 has 30 with 90 in reserve. This makes the two weapons even more diverse than the two starting CT pistols. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide which one you'd rather use. If you're anything like me, then you go through phases of using one before getting fed up of its weaknesses and using the other. It's nice to save a bit of money and to have the M4A1-S and all of its benefits, but on the other hand, it's very annoying to have beautiful 5-man sequences cut short because you have to reload by the 4th person. The M4A4 is definitely the weapon of choice if you're in a close quarters battle with a number of enemies, while the M4A1-S is for sharp shooters and for those who almost act as light infantry, scouting about and assisting others in defending locations. What I'm trying to say is, weigh up the pros and cons of both and use the one you're happiest with. Or, if you're like me, try to steal an AK-47 from the other team as soon as possible and use that instead. Oh Valve, why do you have to give us such difficult decisions?